Hello class, so today before we begin our lesson, I want you all to close your eyes and I want you to think of how you feel with different members of your family. Like the different emotions you feel when you're with your dad, your mom, if you have a sister, if you have a brother, a cousin. So I will give you guys a few minutes to think about the different emotions you have with your family. Does everyone have the different emotions they have?
Yes.
So Dalton, what different emotions do you have with different members of your family?
So I am angry at my dad because he's always telling me what to do,
Okay.
and then I'm always upset with my brother because he's always taking my stuff.
Okay. Good. All right. Those are good examples of different emotions. So now I'm going to read you guys the standards and objectives that I want you guys to know as I'm teaching this lesson. So the standards I'm teaching you guys is I want you to analyze how and why individuals, events, and ideas develop and interact over the course of a text. And I also want you guys to describe characters in a story, like their traits, motivations, or feelings, and explain how their actions contribute to the sequence of events. So the objectives I want you guys to know by the end of this lesson is I want you guys to be able to analyze why and how characters act the way they do in the book The Rainbow Fish, which I will explain in a little bit. The students will also be able to correctly describe the characters in The Rainbow Fish and explain how their actions contribute to what happened in the book. So before I begin reading the book, I want to ask you guys a few questions. So what does it mean to analyze something?
To examine it and kind of go into depth in looking at all the details, basically.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so correct. So to analyze is to study or examine something very carefully. So that is what we are going to be doing today with the book The Rainbow Fish. Now I want to ask you, what does it mean for characters' feelings? What does that mean in a book?
How characters, how their sensory reacts, or their sensors basically react in a certain scenario, how they make them feel.
Okay, yeah. So characters' feelings is what the feelings are that the character is experiencing. So for example, if a character is going to the ice cream shop and they're very excited, then they would be happy. Or if it's a rainy day and their brother did something to upset them, they would be sad. So now I am going to introduce you guys to the book The Rainbow Fish. And this is about a fish. This is the rainbow fish. And he goes through a whole bunch of events that makes him kind of happy and then at some point sad. So as I'm reading this book, I want you to remember or to explain the sequence of events that happen in this book. So pay attention to the sequence of events that happen while I'm reading this to you. Okay, so the rainbow fish. A long way out in the deep blue sea, there lived a fish. Not just an ordinary fish, but the most beautiful fish in the entire ocean. Its scales were every shade of blue and green and purple, with sparkling silver scales among them. The other fish were amazed at his beauty. They called him Rainbow Fish. Come on, Rainbow Fish, they would call. Come and play with us. But the rainbow fish would just glide past, proud and silent, letting his scales shimmer. One day, a little blue fish followed after him. Rainbow Fish, he called, wait for me. Please give me one of your shining scales. They are so wonderful, and you have so many. You want me to give you one of my special scales? Who do you think you are? Cried the rainbow fish. Get away from me. Shocked, the little blue fish swam away. He was so upset. He told all his friends what had happened. From then on, no one would have anything to do with the rainbow fish. They turned away when he swam by. What good were the dazzling, shimmering scales with no one to admire them? Now he was the loneliest fish in the entire ocean. One day he poured out his troubles to the starfish. I really am beautiful. Why doesn't anyone like me? I can't answer that for you, said the starfish. But if you go beyond the coral reef to a deep cave, you will find the wise octopus. Maybe she can help you. So what characters have you realized are in this book so far?
Rainbow fish, the fish following,
Mm-hmm.
I missed the other one.
What's on this page?
Oh, the octopus. The octopus.
Yes, the octopus. So those are the 3 characters in this book. There's also a starfish, but he doesn't really matter because he's only on 1 page. So these are the 3 main characters of the book. So the rainbow fish found the cave. It was very dark inside, and he couldn't see anything. Then suddenly, 2 eyes caught him in their glare, and the octopus emerged from the darkness. I've been waiting for you, says the octopus with the deep voice. The waves have told me your story. This is my advice. Give a glittering scale to each of the other fish. You will no longer be the most beautiful fish in the sea, but you will discover how to be happy. I can't, the rainbow fish started to say, but the octopus had already disappeared into a dark cloud of ink. Give away my scales? My beautiful shining scales? Never. How could I ever be happy without them? Suddenly, he felt the light touch of a fin. The blue fish was back. Rainbow fish, please, don't be angry. I just want 1 little scale. The rainbow fish wavered. Only 1 very small, shimmery scale, he thought. Well, maybe I wouldn't just miss 1. Carefully, the rainbow fish pulled out the small scale and gave it to the little fish. Thank you very much. The little blue fish bubbled playfully as he tucked the shiny scale in among his blue ones. A rather peculiar feeling came over the rainbow fish. For a long time, he watched the little blue fish swim back and forth with his new scale glittering in the water. The little blue fish whizzed through the ocean with his scale flashing. So it didn't take long before the rainbow fish was surrounded by the other fish. Everyone wanted a glittering scale. The rainbow fish followed his scales left and right, and the more he gave away, the more delighted he became. When the water around him filled with glimmering scales, he at last felt at home among the other fish. Finally, the rainbow fish had only 1 shining scale left. His most prized possessions had all been given away, yet he was very happy. Come on, rainbow fish, they called. Come and play with us. Here I come, said the rainbow fish, and happy as a splash, he swam off to join his friends. So that was the book, The Rainbow Fish. So now that we have completed that, I want you guys to look at this worksheet. So I'm going to give you that. And here is a pencil. And I'm going to explain what you are going to be doing. So for each of these characters, so you're going to fill in what characters there are. So I talked about there were 3 main characters. So you're going to write those all down. And then what traits did they have throughout the book? And what were the feelings they had? And then I also want you guys to look at how the rainbow fish's actions contributed to what happened in the book, how little blue fish's actions contribute to the book, and how the octopus's actions contribute to what happened in the book. So for today, I just want you to fill up the top half since we're kind of short on time, and then the bottom 3 questions I will ask you after you finish what the traits and feelings are of the characters. So whenever you guys are done, just pull out a book or just let me know when everyone is finished.
All right.
And then whenever you're done.
All right.
Okay. So what characters did you notice in this book?
So I noticed the little blue fish,
Okay.
the rainbow fish,
Little blue fish, rainbow fish.
then the octopus.
Okay. And now what traits would you give the little blue fish?
I would say the little blue fish is very kind,
Okay.
forgiving,
Mm-hmm.
and excited.
Okay.
Then for the rainbow fish, I would say that he's kind of selfish
Mm-hmm.
and stubborn.
Okay.
Then for the octopus, I would say helpful,
Mm-hmm.
wise, loyal,
Okay.
Now, for the feelings of the rainbow fish, I would say he's a little bit sad,
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
a little confused,
Mm-hmm.
and dissatisfied.
Oh, that's a good one. Satisfied. Okay, now for the rainbow fish.
Now, I would say he's sad,
Mm-hmm.
happy towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could say confused too.
Yeah. He kind of was confused when he didn't know what to do, if he should give his scales away or not to all the other fish.
Now, for the octopus,
Mm-hmm.
I would say his head kind of feels from a place of power, so he's powerful,
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
and he's wise,
Mm-hmm.
or he's wiseful,
Right.
if that's a word. And then confident.
Yeah, he was very confident with helping rainbow fish. Okay, good. So now for the bottom 3 questions, I'm going to just kind of ask you since we don't have time to fill it out. So I would like to know, how did the actions, or can I see this real quick?
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
just look at it. So how did the rainbow fish's actions contribute to what happened in the book? So how did the actions that he felt in the beginning of the book, how did that contribute to kind of what happened?
Because it shows how somebody can go from being stubborn and a little selfish to more forgiving and empathetic.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And now for the little blue fish, how did his actions contribute to kind of what happened?
Similar to like a son helping out, or a little kid helping out someone who's very stubborn. They can bring out the joyfulness in an older person who,
Mm-hmm.
if they're very stubborn, and they can help them to be more naive in a sense and more joyful in their life.
Okay, good. And now for the octopus, how did his actions help the rainbow fish kind of? So what did the octopus do that kind of helped what happened for the rest of the book?
Well, through him giving advice, it also tied into how the rainbow fish changed his or her
Mm-hmm.
personality throughout this book.
Good job. Yeah, exactly. So now that you guys kind of understand different characters, you were analyzing this whole time while reading this book and filling this out. So you analyzed the characters, you analyzed what traits they had, so you kind of looked more deeper into the book to realize what traits they had. And the feelings too, you kind of analyzed what the feelings they had in the book that weren't really shown. You kind of had to think about it. So that is it for today's lesson. I hope you all enjoyed it, and now you guys know how to analyze books and describe characters.